We're blaming Lester for this lateness, okay? And we're also blaming Lester because that stool feels like it's about ready to fall apart. Like every screw in it feels loose. So we're switching stools, and I don't know why Lester gets the blame because he's actually not even here right now. He left. So here I am. Okay, so sorry I'm late because this is garden and horsehair, and I probably have a combination of all of that all over me. I feel like I accomplished somewhat mission impossible today and was able to groom every horse and donkey we have between my lunch hour and after work. And the only one, there's one, and you're never going to guess which one did not get groomed today by their choice, okay? So out of both places, okay? I want you to take a guess and see, like, who do you think was not part of today's springtime grooming event? Because it's going to surprise you. It's going to surprise you a lot, actually. Well, Dinky, okay. Dinky for sure wasn't. But other than that, not Rita, not Donkey Dan, not Bucky's, not Roman. Talus ditched me today. Kind of blew my mind. I did Jim and Val on my lunch hour, and then I went to go grab Talus, and when Jim and Val went back in the pasture, they were like hightailing it off to go eat lunch, and Talus was like, yeah, Mom, it's been real. He like gave me the whole like, can I go? And I was like, all right, just go. So he went. I got to do Rita, and I got to do Roman over there. Kind of a good day. But yes, Talus totally was like, I'll do it if you need me to. But he was like watching out of the corner of his eye. I'm like, just go, buddy, just go. And believe it or not, Talus has more of the hair like Val and Prim. I don't want to call it like self-cleaning or self-combing, but his hair does not, it does not like conform and it's not coarse. It's very smooth, and he does not get the knots or the craziness, probably because he doesn't act with total well, that's not true. Talus has done some crazy things this week that I've captured on video and haven't even shown y'all. I showed a snippet last night on Facebook, but Talus is quite the character as I'm learning them through. Hank, it's good to see you. Hey, Hank. Oh, did you get a little hair in your mouth? Okay. Anyway, so then I got back over here, finished the rest of the day of work, and then hopped outside to take care of everyone else. And that went incredibly smooth. And the donkeys are starting to lose their winter coats. So that is like a daily thing to try to get that off of them because they're hot and they have this big woolly mammoth thing. The thing that I'm a bit nervous about is next week we have some nights down in the 40s again, like 40 again. So the horses are losing and shedding and going to be super thin, and I don't like that for them, but we'll just pay attention. Anyway, it's Tuesday, and we haven't had a regular old Timeout Tuesday in what feels like forever. So in honor of that, tonight we're going to have a cocktail. And my friend Miss Barb sent me some cream soda, and I thought, what a lovely time to go ahead and use that to make our cocktail tonight. So we are going to use some coffee cream bourbon and some cream soda. And this is something I read about online. So I have no idea. Oh, sorry, Hanky. I have settled down there, soda. I don't know if it's going to be good or not, but we're going to try it. Linda says it was in the 40s today in Pennsylvania. I'm so sorry. It was like 85 here today. It was a warm one, which is why I'm sweating, because after I got done grooming everyone, I thought that I had 20 minutes and I would go ahead and do some more work in the garden, because while I got quite a few of my plants in, I still had some seeds and other things that I needed to start I got potatoes in, cucumbers, all my tomatoes in, but I had some pepper and eggplant that needed to go in. And then I wanted to also plant some more types of squash. Sister Kim had given me a packet of seeds for squash that grows upright, just some other things. So I decided I would get into that. And then I found myself out there with a hoe, like the short hoe with the forky thing on the other side. And I'm like, I'm just knocking it out and going to go ahead and plant corn last minute too. So I got a little bit consumed and sweaty and wet. And now I have dirt and horsehair and all the things. And yeah. Okay. This is what we're going to do. Okay. Not sure what to expect, but it should be like a evening, like almost white Russianness, I would think. And I brought nothing to stir. It's from the warm dining room kit that Lester hasn't finished yet. We'll just rinse that off later. Cheers, y'all, to Timeout Tuesday. It's been a while. Ooh. That's like, I realize it's not a white Russian, but that, friends, that is like drinking an iced coffee. That's what this tastes like. Lester Morrow, if you're watching, this is something you're going to need to try because this is terrific. One of the best drinks that I've ever made. So that is a 0 sugar cream soda and some coffee liqueur. It's actually coffee, red bourbon. Yeah, red corn bourbon. But it's liqueur. So you could use like Bailey's, you could use things like that. But this right here, really good. Oh, that's so good. We have much to catch up on. Ooh, pink lemonade. That sounds terrific. Do you know I'm growing a pink lemonade tree? Yeah. So it grows, the leaves are variegated, so it has pink with white stuff in the leaves. And the lemons that grow in it are yellow on the outside, but pink on the inside. And I'm so excited. Really excited. Uh-oh, people can see Lester's comments. Lester, you aren't blocked, you weirdo. He is driving, or maybe he's already there at the jail north to do the night chores over there, and of course his nighttime roundup. I have to make a comment. For a guy who says he's not the horse guy and he's also not the chicken guy and so many things. Do you know who's out there with those horses every day? Yeah. And you know who's enjoying himself every day? He won't admit it. But he is. And he I'm finding him doing it even without a camera on. So like he's out in the pasture and brushing and like finding special, thanks Hank, finding special moments. And I love that. And then he can be found out in the coop as well. And I know what you're going to say, like he likes chicks, not chickens. My chicks are growing up pretty fast and he's super invested. Like this weekend, if the weather holds out. Hank, how did your tail get wet? Like just slung water on me. I guess from the ice machine. Random and weird. Are you okay? Okay, fine. Anyway, this weekend, if the weather holds out, we intend to put the aviary up on top of the chicken coop area back there and hopefully get a gates because it's just about graduation time to be able to put them to their next place. So I just thought I would call that out. Are those Hank's whiskers? No, it's probably hair. If you see something, it is cat hair on the camera because there's cat hair everywhere right now. There's hair. Okay. It is springtime and we are in the place of shedding. Probably me too. I'm just kidding. It happens for me year round. Okay. Breathe. So today was Kendra's first doctor's appointment. And if y'all remember, I talked about, like, we didn't know for sure due dates. We knew it was October-ish, but we had no idea. And I talked to y'all about some significant dates in our family. And they also made jokes about twins running in the family, that type of thing. First of all, there are no April Fool jokes that I will play on you tonight or will tell you tonight. Everything I'm telling you is legit. That's not my game. Xander and Kendra are going to have one baby. It is healthy. We don't know what it is. You want to take a guess at that due date? Yeah. Their due date is October 22nd. The day that I told you was like wildly insane for Xander's dad's family. So Xander has a half brother from his dad, and his birthday is October 22nd. His grandfather, Reese's, my ex's dad, died on October 22nd. And his dad's birthday was also October 22nd. And now Xander and Kendra are due on October 22nd. And when she sent me the message, she had forgotten all about that conversation. And it gave me goosebumps, like legitimate chills. And I was walking to the horse pasture at the jail north, and I stopped mid walk. I just froze because, first of all, here comes a beautiful picture. Let me see if I can find it here to show you and make sure I don't have anything identifying on it, like no birth dates or anything like that. A beautiful, happy little bean right there, teeny tiny. And then the next thing that she sends me is 11 weeks tomorrow, and due date is October 22nd. And I was like, wild. I'll just say that. That's wild. So now it would be oddly strange. This is where it gets even more weird. It would be oddly strange if it's a girl, because as I know today, on that side of the family, there are no girls. So who knows? Maybe we'll make history and there'll be a girl born on that day. But it was a very, like, just crazy coincidence type of scenario. And we're really happy that everything is healthy, and that through all of the stress and all the things going on, that baby Walker is okay. October 22nd. And then poor Lester, I message him and I'm like, hey, baby Walker's due October 22nd. Everything's okay. There's only one, thank goodness. And he goes, oh, I guess they can't come to prom this year. And I'm like, we're going to have to find a new time for prom this year because I'm not missing that. So that was just something that was kind of funny. It came up of like, oh, that usually is like the weekend of prom right around that area. So no prom that weekend. We'll figure it out, though. Not a big deal at all. So a lot of people are talking about the significance of October 22nd. Karen says it's her and her father-in-law's birthday. And Lisa says it's my daughter's birthday. What is up with that day, y'all? That's also my aunt and uncle's wedding anniversary. Not as significant, but there's something pretty significant about that. Kind of wild. Do not encourage Lester to talk about his Maro science of the gender, because it's not right. So not right. So Xander and Kendra are doing pretty good. They did get the tree off of their house, and thanks to you all, did get the other things cut down. A little bit nervous for all of you that are in this path of storm that's coming tomorrow and the next couple of days. I guess Southern Illinois is supposed to get something like 10 inches of rain in this storm, and they're calling for historic flooding and all kinds of things, and like the winds will be horrific. And I know that everybody's been going through it. And tomorrow we're supposed to have like 50 to 60 mile an hour winds the whole day, not just gusts, the whole day. And I'm nervous for like a lot of this country tomorrow, because it is going to be, Mary says it's here in Oklahoma now. Yeah. I saw a weatherman, I think it was somebody from Kentucky that posted, and he came on and talked and like turned down the screen, and he just came on and talked and was like, I want you to know that this is something historical, and this is big, and it's not to be taken lightly. And I was like, oh boy, I better listen. And then went back to the St. Louis channels and things, and then watched the weather here too. And I don't like to fear monger. I don't like to do that, but I do think that paying attention is worthy, and being as prepared as possible is worthy. So if you didn't know and you're in some of that path, you're getting a pretty bad storm tomorrow. Sorry. Tornado. Julie says, we're here in Southeast Ohio, tornadoes and severe thunderstorms and 3 to 5 inches of rain. Listen, that's a lot of rain for anywhere in a short period of time. So kind of wild. Yes, somebody says, even though it's the due date, doesn't mean that baby will be born on the 22nd. I recognize that. It was just a very weird coincidence to come back and say, hey, that day that you thought about, yeah, that's the day. Just one of those things. People are having bad storms in Florida too. There's some really weird weather stuff going on, y'all. Kind of crazy. All right. So last night, we got a message of someone who found a dog that looked remarkably like Stella, and it threw me for a loop because it was taller and it didn't have the same front legs, but at first glance, it was Stella. And I was like digging to find how old that post was, all the things. And my intentions were today that I was like, that was going to be my lunch break, was to go look for this dog. I messaged the lady that posted it, and she told me that that a rescue picked up that dog this morning. So thank goodness. But my curiosity was like through the roof, because that dog, it had to be related to Stella. Like there wasn't a doubt in my mind that it wasn't related. And no, not Sadie. I mean Stella. And we got DNA back on Stella that showed inconclusive 3 times, and we don't know why. We did 2 separate companies, and they both came back showing that, and basically that means it's out of their database. Whatever is part of her is out of their database and inconclusive. We know that she has some German Shepherd in her, and there were some other pieces, but all of those were like 10% or less. Like she had a big percent that was inconclusive, which is kind of crazy. And I'm done paying to find out those things, because they're expensive. And we've heard, 3 different times now that it's not in their database. So whatever that means. Jen, Stella is not missing. There is a community page in the neighborhood across from Plum Grove that has a lot of dogs, and I follow that from when we lived there. And they posted this dog and asked if a rescue could come help. And while I'm not in the space to be rescuing a ton of dogs anymore, that one just pulled at my heart because it looked just like her. So it freaked me out. And my intentions today were to go follow up and try to find that dog, just because I couldn't get it off off my mind. And when I reached out to the person that made that post, they had already had another rescue show up. So we're okay. Didn't mean to confuse anyone. Stella was from around the Plum Grove area. Yes. In an empty field, in the worst situation of any dog I've ever seen in my life. Stella weighed like 33-ish pounds, I think. And she had almost no hair. Her tail looked like a possum tail. And every bone in her body was visible. And she had motor oil poured over her. She was full of mites and lice and ticks and fleas, and just her skin was like leather. And she cried the second water hit her. Like it was horrible and awful. And she stank to high heaven. And somehow she survived and turned out to be one of the most fabulous dogs, if not most fabulous dog that I've ever had the pleasure of being a part of their life. She's watching my chickens every day. She can't wait to go sit out and stare at the chickens. And if I open the door to the coop, she wants to go in, not to do anything mean, to just lay there. They climb all over her. She doesn't care. She's like in heavenly peace. She doesn't care. They'll like peck at her and like not in a mean way, but like, you know, chickens peck to look for things. And she's just like, that's what I do. And it blows my mind because I would think that at some point in time she had to have that as part of her survival. But then again, here she is with Mabel, and she treats Mabel like it's one of her children. She did the same thing with Ruby and Danny, and with Starla, and I'm trying to think who else. She's a mom, like through and through. And for a little street dog that I would say had no will to live, but she had the will to live because there's no other explanation as to why she was alive. It was one of the most powerful things in my life of watching her recover and to see what she's turned out to be. She's half deaf, half blind, but she wants to be a part of everything, and she will protect you. She will protect you through everything. I love her. You liked it when I let Starla's baby in the house and Starla in the house? Yeah. There's been a lot of animals in this house, y'all. There's been cows in the bathroom. Goats. I even think that at one point in time, one of the donkeys was in here, but that was very short-lived. Of course, cats, dogs. None of the alpacas, thank goodness. But anyway, we have some big things coming up. Thursday, Talus is having a full vet workup in addition to his dental work done. And we are taking him all the way to A&M. We just felt like that was the most conclusive place that we could get every answer that we ever wanted to and have the dental work done at the same time. And be able to have test results back same day. And it's not that far. And that way we can just be sure that we know everything. They have just all the skill set right there. And Talus rides well in a trailer. He's very comfortable with going on his own. So it will be, this will not be stressful for him at all. He has a history of being a show horse. So he's very confident, as you probably have noticed in some of the herd, dynamics videos. He's a confident horse, but very much like keep to himself. He's not going to mess with anybody. He's not like some other girl that we all know. But he'll be fine. I want to do some blood work on him, just to be sure that we're not missing anything. And I guess I'm probably a little bit, I don't like to use this word, but I'm a little gun shy from the voodoo things. And I have a little bit of guilt for maybe missing things earlier. And now that I have an 8-horse herd plus a pony plus 4 donkeys. I feel like if I have a hint of anything that I need to know right away so that I can treated. So it's just best that we do that. But he is incredible and just wonderful and funny and beats to his own drum and just is just happy to just be there. So we will get his teeth done. I want to do some blood work to make sure that he doesn't have anything like Cushing's or metabolic disease. And then I also want them to just check for ulcers and other things. Like it's just a thing. Horses get that, and it's just a thing. So he does that wind sucking thing and loves to get high. So we're just going to have that checked out as well. So it'll be good. But that will be Thursday, and that's going to be a busy day. Can I believe that I have that many horses? I can't even believe that I have one. I can't even believe that I have found the courage to be a part of any horse's life, let alone like have their life in my hands, basically. Today I was in the pasture, and it was my first time since we did the merge of trying to go in and pull someone out. And we got a little bit crazy today. And not like, it's not bad, but what happens is, so Gem is a baby. She's a baby. She's about the age when we got Rita, except for Rita's been here almost 3 years, not 2 years, 3 years now. So Rita has matured. Believe it or not, you have a mature Rita, for those of you that are just meeting Rita. The immature baby Rita is exactly what Gem tries to do. Gem just wants to be a part of everything. She wants to be first. She has zero situational awareness, and that comes from being just a young horse. Things I didn't know when Rita was young because I didn't really understand what that meant. Rita gave me a lot of experience. So Gem sees that we have like kind of 2 crowds, right? So we have Roman and Rita, and then we have the rest of the gang. Well, Gem doesn't understand why everybody just can't get along. So she forgets that Rita doesn't want anybody to get along. So as I'm just trying to get Val out the pasture, Gem is like making her way all the way up and crosses Rita and Roman's path. Well, Rita did not want Gem to go near Roman at all. So Rita puts her ears back and points and goes that way. And then Val just freezes like, what do you want me to do? Like she's trying so hard to follow instructions. And Talus is just over there like, I don't know, scratching his butt on a pole, oblivious to life. Pretty standard. And just a little crazy at that point in time. It was fine. We got through it. It was okay. But I do know that Gem, being young, is going to take different ways of thought because I'll be like holding Val. Val will be here and I'll be holding onto the rope and I'm here. And Gem will like run straight up and like clothesline herself on the lead. And Val is so sweet that she just looks down on her like, oh, here we go again, But yes, so we have mares. We have a lot of female estrogen in the arena, and we're just working on things. My plans are, if I can, like, we have to figure out our groove here because this is a lot between 2 properties and lots of things. So my hopes are that I can start at my lunch hours and pull out Val because Val actually needs more nutrition than any of the other horses. Val needs a little bit of top line and to have some extra protein in her life. And she's a little bit picky. So she, and I don't know why she's picky. Like, I don't know if it's her teeth. I don't know if there's something up with her stomach. I don't know all of that yet. So she's the next to get a full workup. But for now, I'm trying to put on some weight for her, but there's no one else in that pasture that needs any weight. So I'm pulling her out first, letting her have her meal of, there's a product called Enrich or Empower, depending upon which product you're using, that's high in protein but low in sugar, and it's made for what I'm trying to do for her. So I'm trying to give her that and then groom her, and then then in the meantime, also have to groom everybody else. And today I realized that when I used to tie and do the horses grooming every day over there, I would usually pull Rita out first and tie her to the end of the old truck that was out there. And I would tie her out there to teach her patience. And it just became our routine. And she was completely content doing that. She had to be first out, which is what Jem is trying to do. She had to be first out. She had to have firsties. It was just like a kindergartner that wanted to be first in line. And I think that if I pull her out and I tie her, because current state I'm using the trailer, we will eventually have hitching posts and all the mats and like a wash station, like all of that's coming. But for now, the flatbed trailer is officially our hitching post and working along that. So I think if I pull out Jem first, tie her up, and then do Val on the other side and cycle through everybody, then I think that I can create a routine. The issue is that if I miss a day, because let's just say that I have calls all day and can't make it over there, Lester has to be able to perform some part of that routine. The short version would probably be just still tie Jem up, bring Val over, let Val eat, and then Jem also has the wildest hair of all hair to try to brush during that time. It's not bad because I conditioned it about 4 days ago. And there haven't been any knots since I conditioned it. And I did a deep condition. Like I'll let that stuff soak on there for 20 minutes and then just rinse it out later. So it's been much better. I think if I can braid her on top of that conditioning, I can buy myself some time as well. Do I miss the truck? Yep, I missed it a lot. Like a lot. Wish it was still there. I just saw it. And I just I missed it and I forgot it as well. I don't know. So while we do that and get the hitching post area fixed up, for now the trailer is going to serve as our spot and it'll be fine. The other thing is here, these horses are swimming in the pond midday, which is beautiful and lovely. And while I'm brushing them out, they don't require the same amount of grooming. And I made a joke today when I recorded a video of I really thought when Prim came that she had the thickest mane and tail and was going to be such high maintenance from that standpoint. And I had no idea until I got my hands in that sweet girl Jem's hair. I can't even explain to you, I can grab this much hair all the way around 5 times down her mane. It's so thick all the way. And I've taken a thinning shears to it 4 days in a row. You can't even, it's unbelievable. I will say something really cute though is that the conditioner brings out her curls. So she looks like she has a perm straight out of the 80s right now. And I mean straight out of the 80s. And because I'm conditioning it so much, instead of it all going to one side, I guess naturally it just flops open now. So she has a middle part with hair that comes all the way across her face. And then her main parts on both sides. And it just it's kinky little curls and is hilarious. My eagle chick, somebody said something about, okay, I have to tell you a story. And this is not, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to make fun of. I think someone really misunderstood me in my video last night about Stella and my 2 chicks that look like bald eagles. Because I should have probably started with this today. I got a call today from the game warden. Yeah, I got a call today from the game warden asking me if I was indeed raising bald eagle chicks. Because someone reported me for doing so. No, sir. Those are chickens who didn't have their feathers on their head yet. Be happy to show you if you want to come over, or I can point you to the video that they saw, or I can send you pictures, but I have chickens. Bantam. Tiny little chickens that are like 4.5 weeks old. And they're red with white fuzzy hair. And they're chickens. I didn't hatch eagle eggs, and I'm not raising eagle chicks or whatever you call them, eaglets, whatever. But I was like, I was embarrassed. I was like, I'm so sorry that someone took your time, because I'm not raising eagles at all. What the heck am I going to do with an eagle? No thanks. So anyway, yeah, that happened today too. I actually thought that was an April Fool's joke, compliments of Lester. I actually thought that he was punking me like that. I was like, did Lester put you up to this? And he's like, who's Lester? I'm like, never mind. Because I did. It was April Fool's. Like, Lester usually has jokes or tries to do things like that. I wasn't mad. But it made me think that maybe that's the same person who called whenever we had Elvira, the baby deer. Maybe that person is the same, like that's like their MO in life, to just like stir the pot. Like they're such an advocate for wildlife that that's what they do. I don't know. But it was really bizarre. Really bizarre. It's been kind of a wild week on that level of like everything is really off the charts of extremes. I mean, I don't usually read comments or things like that because I try to stay away from all of the negative and all of the craziness. But some do stand out to me, and I'm just like, the world's a little mad. Everybody's a little mad, a little disturbed, a little upset, and like everybody needs to walk outside and let that sunshine hit their face a little bit and find something good to just take a moment and find the good. I don't know what it is or how like small or whatever it needs to be, but find the good. Find the good. But I'm not raising eagles. I'm Jamie Walker, and I'm not hatching or raising or have anything to do with eagles at all. In fact, I'm a little nervous for when I let my chickens out if one's going to dive down and try to get my chickens. That's about it, though. It's about all I got. It's been a long winter for some people. I fully agree. Fully agree. Somebody said, is it that woman with the crush on Lester? I don't know. There's a lot of people. I don't know. There's a lot of everything in this world. That's all I'll say. The other thing that's happened, so it's April, officially April. In a couple of, well, let me back this party bus up. Next Tuesday, our regular horse dentist is coming here to do these horses. And I got her on a total whim. When I was looking for a dentist for Talus, someone messaged me and was mutual friends with our dentist. And I was like, hey, do you know this person? And she goes, oh, anyway, gave me the lowdown. And she was like, but oddly enough, I'll be in town next week. And I was like, oh, yes, let's do it. And we'll need 2 days now because we have such a large herd. But I didn't want Talus to wait, and she's not capable of doing some of the other blood work and things like that. So we'll get this team done, and then we'll do the next team when she's able to, because I think that we might not be able to do that again with her until like May. But she's wonderful. She's a friend of Courtney and Ashley's as well, and does all their rescue horses. And in fact, when I messaged Courtney to tell her that she was coming here, she goes, how did you get her so fast? I'm like, listen, I caught her on like a really weird, like she was going to be in town day. And I took it, and I probably took it directly. I probably took it from Courtney too. Like we all are waiting for her. She travels all over to do equine dental work. She does it for the rodeos. She does a lot of work. And because she's licensed in multiple states. And what's crazy is she is from Australia and came here to practice equine dentistry, and she rides barrels in the rodeo as well. So kind of crazy. I don't know that we made a video with her in it for you last year, but this year I'm going to ask if she'll introduce herself and, tell us a little bit about her, because she has a really interesting story. So that'll be next week. The following week, or whenever I think it's the 19th, it's alpaca shearing time, which is going to be so crazy, because this will be the first time that we have tried to capture alpacas in the large pasture. We are going to have to put some animals out and get cattle panels to get people cornered. And I love this time of year because they get a fresh cut and they are so much cooler. I loathe this time of year because it is stressful for them, and I don't like that. One of the things that I intend to do while we are shearing everybody is to get a fecal sample to test for worms. They'll have their teeth trimmed in addition to their haircut. They'll have their claws trimmed. And then I won't be able to do a formal pregnancy check, but Miss Tina is very good about telling us what she sees and what she knows. The other thing that we usually get from Miss Tina is an education on what's going on in the alpaca world. So that will be awesome. Fun fact that I learned from Miss Tina is that we were talking about the horses here and talking about Miss Prim's history and looking at paperwork and whatnot. Miss Tina has Prim's sister, which was really holy cow. Holy cow. So super small, crazy, wild world. But yes, Miss Tina owns Prim's sister. So there's a part of me that's kind of will she invite me over to go meet that sister? Because I kind of want to meet that sister a little bit. So that's kind of awesome. Annie can't have a baby. We're out of vowels. I agree, Miss Tracy. I don't know what we're going to do. Not sure how. We do have Y left. We do have Y. I don't know what Y and ends in E. I have no idea how we'll navigate that, but we might have to start a new tradition of some sort. The other thing that we will figure out next is if Ernie is well enough and his blood count is back up, because keep in mind, we aren't even at a year from his horrific circumstance, and it can take a year plus for him to regain the right blood count. Yoli. Oh, I like Yoli and Yuki. Okay. I like it. Yogi. Okay. We'll have a Y. Yogi, Yankee. I love it. Yancey. Y'all are great. Yanni. Okay. What I was saying about Ernie is that his blood count has to be up high enough for him to be able to have a castration surgery. And we know that it needs to be done, but his blood count has to be high enough for him to be worthy of that surgery. So we will take a look at his fecal sample, and then we were originally told that it could be a year plus before he would be well enough if he didn't get sick again. And my mind plays tricks on me every once in a while with Ernie, and I start to notice that he's lost weight, or that I spray them with water almost every day, and whenever he comes to drink out of it, I'm looking at the color of his tongue, because at one point in time his color was whiter than his teeth. Now it's pink now, but I still get paranoid. So you don't know anything until you draw blood, obviously. If there's any chance in the world I can have Cochrane here to draw blood at the same time or something along those lines, I will do that. But I have not gone down that path of planning at all. So we'll see. But it's really been getting him castrated is on my mind, but it's also been low on the priority list because he just hasn't been healthy. and it takes a long while for him to recover from that. We almost lost him, and we lost Oki, and it was horrible, and it was hard, and it was a lot of care, and it was a lot. And then right after that, it was Voodoo who had his injury, and we had 2024 was rough, y'all. So rough. But anyway, I thought, can you hold on one second? I have to go get a charger because my computer's going to die long before I'm ready to be done talking. Don't leave. Don't leave. I think y'all lost Lester today on a live due to his battery. And I don't want to do that. Okay. We're back in business. We are fueling up. Okay. Would spreading diatomaceous earth around Ernie's area. So I spread diatomaceous earth at least once a month out there. We don't feed on the ground anymore, so that certainly helps. But it is the time of year. Lester and I were just talking about this earlier this week, although today's only Tuesday, so that would probably make it yesterday. We think we're going to take part of the yard and create one more paddock and make it the Alpaca paddock. And that would be so that we can keep them separated, because I'm nervous about them being in with the goats, even though I feel like we have it all. We have a plan and we're trying to mitigate all that. Sometimes it gets really beyond control. And with the humidity and the heat creeping up, parasites are going to just love that, because we're having a super wet spring again. We're blessed to have super wet spring. Do not, Mother Nature, take away the rain. Do not. We need to be able to separate them. And we kind of need one more pasture to be able to do that, because Carl. Although Lester tells me that Carl is calming down right now, and he's like, we need to go in there and get that other manger and the food bowls that are still in Carl's pasture. And I looked at him, I was like, I don't know who we is, but it isn't Jamie. It isn't Jamie. Will my trees be okay? I don't know. The way we want to do it, it would only encapsulate 4 of them, none of which have bared fruit yet. So I also wonder, is it too late for me to dig them up and move them? Maybe. Do we lime our pastures? We do put lime down on our pastures. We did not fertilize this year here. We fertilized the hayfield, but we did not fertilize here. And that's okay. With the horses being on it, I choose to not fertilize, and the donkeys being on it, horses, donkeys, I choose to not fertilize. And then we also will not probably plant ryegrass here or in the other, in the horse pasture at JL North next year either. We got some seniors on there now, and no more ryegrass. So we'll have cow pastures that are beautiful and green, and the horse pastures will not be as green as they were this year, but that's okay, because it's the right thing to do. Lester was talking about you building the other paddock, but wasn't sure if they would eat the trees. I'm pretty sure they're going to eat the trees, but I don't know for sure. I don't know. Diane says, I think you can move the trees. I think so too. They're only a couple years in the ground, and they're not very big. So we'll see. It's not the end of yes, they're fruit trees. Yes, I've already planted them. I had this vision, but I can move them over in front of the garden and put some other things there. I mean, there's other places that I can find. So it'll be okay. And I could surround the trees. I could make a, cattle panel thing, little fence around each one of them. But at the end of the day, if it's a pasture, I even told Lester, I was like, it would be a very nice dry lot for the horses too, because it's got great shade. It has water access in it. It's got good drainage. Like all of those things matter, basically. Marcy Lynn says, what's it like owning 8 horses? It's busy, but it is heaven. It's heaven. It is a place that I never thought that I would be ever. I never did anything with horses in my whole life. Like this was not my life. Even when Lester and I started the sanctuary and whenever I was starting to be around all these other farm animals, horses were so far-fetched. They were like, I knew nothing about them. Even whenever he rescued Bucky's for my birthday. I loved him, but I didn't know what to do with him. I certainly didn't know how to care for him. I knew nothing. I remember it was like day 2 and I'm standing behind him braiding his tail like it was nothing. And then, I don't know, a few months later when Voodoo shows up and they're running through the pasture, kicking and bucking and everything else. And all I could think back was I stood there right behind him like a moron, completely naive to the fact that at any point in time, this animal that I don't know and I don't know anything about, and he doesn't know anything about me, could have taken my life. It's fine. Lived right through that too. It'll be fine. Totally fine. No, but it is, it's wild to think of, but I also now can't imagine my life without horses in it. And I have found this connection that is like incredibly powerful. And this mental, like, their presence is like the most calming in the world to me. And I can be having the crappiest day. And it doesn't matter if they're good or if they're bad or anything like that. Like being around them is like my solve. It's the only other thing that is even comparatively close to that is garden work. It's garden work. And it's weird because yes, I have ridden Prim. Mine actually comes from just being around them. Today I cleaned out the barn. I shoveled shit in the barn with boots on, not white Nikes. And then I brushed everybody's hair and refilled their water and all of that. But I just like felt so at peace to be doing that. Like that was not work. It wasn't work. So somebody says, you don't feel that way around Lester? Lester makes me feel a lot of things. Mostly laughter. Sometimes, no, I'm kidding. No. It's different. It's different. And if you're a horse person, you know what I'm talking about. And you can't explain it. And even if someone would have told me about it before I had horses, I'd be like, whatever. And the other thing, I was actually talking to somebody about this the other day. It's one thing to groom them every day, to work with them, and to be around them. It is a whole other ball game to put their life in your hands. So I don't want to cry. Caring for Dixie and caring for Voodoo. There's no bigger honor, and there's no deeper connection. None. I've never cared for a human in that space, so I can't say that I choose that over anything like that, but there's nothing like it. And they've taught me a lot. And I just feel like, I don't know, I hope that I will never be without horses because they're just a big part of me now. I did not want to cry. I'm not going to let that. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do it. Anyway, some animals, like, you love them and you care for them and all the things. but there's something about them like hearing your heartbeat and looking at you from like hundreds of feet away. If you're stressed and any horse is going to pick up on that and is going to like make eye contact with you, and it's wild whenever you catch it, because they're like reading you, and then they're asking you, you okay? Why are you scared? Because then they're looking around as well, like why is your heart racing? Why is, what should be aware of, or what's ever going on? And then if there's nothing else going on, they'll try to comfort you. It's kind of crazy. So thank you, Heather, for changing the subject. Have you seen the prank that Ringo did to Lester? Yeah. And it scared me so bad. So bad. When I saw that video, my heart sank, and I was like, instantly I get in defense mode, because I check on those animals every morning. I do the head count of them, and I am like holding the responsibility of here first thing and last thing. So I do the head counts first thing, and I do the night checks last thing. And I make my rounds and I check on everybody. I tell everybody good night, all those things. So to think that here it is a few hours later and Lester's rolling down the driveway, I had a panic moment of like, no, he was fine this morning. In fact, he rammed the gate. Maybe he rammed it too hard. Like all the things start going through my mind about the what ifs. And then Lester says his name. His name. It was wild. Absolutely wild. But yeah, I think everybody was worried, including Lester. And it's sad to know that we're probably not far from that day. He's not in great shape. He's lived a very rough life that he caused. Let's be honest here. Like he definitely inflicted a lot of things on his little body. And he survived Hurricane Harvey as well. So, that makes him 8, 9, 10, somewhere around there. A minimum of 9. I'll just say that. He could be older. And he gets around pretty dang slow. And he's a special guy. So I'm not ready for what we thought was happening today. And as much as I want to prepare myself, like, I don't know how to prepare for that. Dinky was laughing. Dinky, I think that Dinky is like some human reincarnated, because Dinky knows all of the tricks. Dinky is so vocal. Dinky, like, he manipulates me, okay? Dinky will come up to the fence and love on me through the fence and be like, talk me into making myself go get some treats. And I go get those treats and he will accept those willingly and all fine. I'm like, oh, we're getting somewhere. I'm going to go in the pasture and I'm going to love on Dinky now. The second that I go through that gate, all of a sudden Dinky's like, I don't even know who you are. I'm running. Scary, stranger, stranger, stranger. And is like running for his life. I'm like, we were just like really cool through the fence. I was loving you. It was all good. You ate treats. I made the extra walk up the hill to go get them. I'm out of breath now. No, Dinky knows. And I'm telling you, like, Dinky is some human that has come back. That's all I can say. But he is hilarious. He is absolutely hilarious. And I love that his little personality is like gigantic above everyone. And that the only animal he's not sweet to is really Donkey Dan. He and Donkey Dan have their moments. But everybody else, he's totally like, whatever. The goats want to eat first. It's fine. I'll eat later. Like, he's just very patient, except for with Donkey Dan. He and Donkey Dan just have moments of probably the same way that Bucky's and Voodoo did, of like, who's really in charge scenario. So, yeah. Maybe he's Robin Williams. Maybe he is. But I'll tell you what, he has a personality out of this world. Yeah. Y'all, I've been having a conversation with you for over an hour. I have half of my drink that I actually drank tonight because it's really a good one. Pam says maybe Dinky is really Peepat reincarnated. No, I hear Peepat was really mean and didn't like anybody. Dinky loves everybody, but doesn't want them to get too close. Jamie, someone sent Ringo some joint relief. Okay, we'll try it. We'll absolutely try it. I tried some stuff on Ivy tonight. She has all of our donkeys have fly strike right now. So I've been putting SWAT on the other donkeys, but Ivy, I think might have had an allergic reaction to it. So I had to try, oh my gosh, Skin Essentials or something like that for Ivy, something else for her that had like tea tree oil and stuff in it. So we're going to try that on her. And hers was like a clay almost. So we're working through that. We use permethrin on everybody and on everything. In fact, I bought the pump sprayer today at Tractor Supply to be able to, it's the time of year that we do all of the loping sheds, get all of the old hay out, and then spray down with permethrin to be able to get any lice or mites or anything that might have come in there over the winter. So that will be happening. I keep saying this weekend, but we're supposed to get like heavy storms and rain again. So if I can get it done before the weekend, maybe. It might not happen till the beginning of next week though. I kind of need like a volunteer day of like, everybody come over and let me point people in directions of like, you do this job and you do this job and you do this job. The thing is, I know that nobody would want to work if they came over. They would just want to hang out and pet animals. So that would be really hard. The Lubricin for Ringo, I missed it. Sorry. There's a lot of tornado watches happening to people. I'm so sorry for y'all. Anyway. Lubricin is what Brooke is using. Oh, okay. We'll try it. See what happens. It'd be great. Try Cetice or something for flies. We are trying, oh my gosh. I forgot the name of it, but it's the stuff that the animals can eat so that the flies cannot lay in their stool. So we're trying that this year. I thought it was like Spotify, but it's not. I forgot what it's called. We're trying that this year. Barnadette is doing really wonderful. I have to go outside and check on her before bed. You know, I have to get my little kitten fix in. But she's doing really good and her babies are beautiful. When is the next girls' day? Y'all, I don't know. Life is super busy for all of us right now. So we'll see what we can muster up, but I hope soon. I miss the girls a lot. I did a different type of girls' day and didn't tell y'all about it, but that video will come out tomorrow, and I'm excited for you to see that. We did a little field trip and Texas adventure, and I think you're going to like my special guest. I see a lot of people joining now that are asking questions that we went through earlier, so I'm sorry. You'll have to kind of go back in. Tilly is at Megan and Ellie's, and I think she's doing great. I have not had time to watch any updates in the past couple days, but Sunday she looked really amazing and happy because she's really a goat dog. I did not get to see Cash on his birthday. I came down with something over the weekend and felt like I got hit by a truck, so I chose not to spread that wealth. Also we had other things going on. So I actually have Cash's gift in my car to bring over there. I'm reading comments to make sure that I didn't miss anything. I think that's it, y'all. Cash didn't miss out, Miss Tammy. He had a huge birthday party and wonderful time. My secret thing to do at a lot of my niece and nephew's birthdays is I like to either, if I can be there in person, I like to show up at a different time to spend some one-on-one time with them and enjoy them and the gifts that I got them and do something special like that. Or as they get older, my niece and nephew in Illinois, in fact, it's one of my nephew's birthdays today. Happy birthday, Mason. I like to take them for their own special day. So that is really that's kind of more my jam than to go to the big party and everything's a blur. So that's, I'll spend time with Cash later on this week as well. I have not done car cake with any of the kids. Car cake is for the adults. I'm not going to do car cake with the kids. That's not my thing. And yes, I will bring Carter's gift because it's still sitting here as well. But when they get old enough, it's fun for me to take them on their own special day. Like I took Alora on their special day. I need to take Brinley. I need to take Bay. And also keep in mind that finding a day for all of the kids individually is sometimes hard. So, am I going to do a voodoo shirt? So I have been working on the design of the voodoo shirt because I wanted to change it a little bit. And then I've been wanting to do a poll of what other animals, because I think that I have the option to do multiple types of shirts this time. And I wanted to, let's just say, pick 4 animals. One can be voodoo. Pick 4 animals that you would like to see on a shirt. And then we can narrow it down and I can work on the design and then we can do a merch run. But with different characters this time and different designs. So a lot of people are saying Ringo. It is such a hard decision, really hard decision. So I'll see what I can get together with Lestron. Maybe we'll take a poll and maybe we'll try to do one with some of our angels that are no longer here or something like that. I don't know. And it's hard because I don't want to leave anybody out, but I also know that I can't create 150 different shirts. Okay. That's not possible. So, we'll just have to see what I can come up with, but, yeah. Roman and Rita, Journey, Okie, Pig Trudy. Yeah, see, that's what I mean. Nikki says, what is car cake? So, Miss Nikki, my birthday celebration with all of the family members from Morrow Hill is to pick up cake or cheesecake or ice cream or whatever their favorite dessert is, and to show up at their house and do a Timeout Tuesday from the car. And all we do is tell everybody on Morrow Hill to bring a fork. And then we do a together event, eating cake in the car, and just catch up on life on a live. And it's actually very fun. And we talk about the most random things, but we eat cake in the car directly out of the container with forks that everybody brought from their houses, and people pile in the car or pile out, come and go as they please. And it's kind of a disaster, but super fun all in once. And I love car cake. That's my own special thing for everybody's birthday. I owe Stephanie car cake, but she's been too busy. So maybe next week or something like that. We'll see. Yeah. See, y'all are naming all the animals. See, I don't know how to do this, but I will see what I can come up with, for merch, and maybe we can plan on late April-ish for that, something like that. It's going to take me a little time, but we'll see. All right, y'all. Now it's been well over an hour, and I don't want to keep you. And I also really want to go wash my hair because it's sticking to me. Full disclosure. You needed to know that. I'm sure of it. Thank you for joining me on Timeout Tuesday and going through all of the roller coaster of emotions, and for being a part of my life, giving me so much of your time, your advice, your patience. I just can't thank you enough. I love spending Tuesdays with you. I love hearing from you all. I love that so many of you find connections with our animals or with crazy things that happen in our lives, and can offer, related stories or advice or warnings or whatever the case is. That it makes me feel so connected to you in a world that we're more connected than ever, that can feel sometimes the loneliest ever. So I hope that you sleep well. I hope that you stay safe, and I hope that you stay well. And I promise that tomorrow's video is crazy fun, on an adventure with a surprise guest. And I can't wait for you to see it. One more time. Cheers, y'all, to Timeout Tuesday. I love you so very much, and I'll talk to you on the next video.